Hello. All right, you asked me here tonight to share with you where I see retail design heading, my perspective from a millennialist point of view. So sit back, relax, and well, I'm not going to give you some flashy presentation, but I'm simply going to tell a story. I'm Amanda Morehart. I'm a senior from the College of Mount St. Joseph in Cincinnati, Ohio. And you want to know what inspires me. When it comes to retail brand strategy, where I see things moving is simply into a storytelling form of branding. From the time we were children getting tucked into bed, with a story told to us, to as adults reading ourselves to sleep, we know a good story when we see one. What makes the story matter? Well, everyone has one, and everyone is always looking for a better one. Stories take us to new places. They allow us to connect with new people, and they can even unite groups together. When we grew up, we were bombarded with brands. It was all about who was the brand. Brands were everywhere, and they are everywhere. We have branding for our social lives, brands for our homes, brands for the things we need, even the things we don't need. Even brands that extend our knowledge about branding. Millennials want to be connected. Take the connection with music, for example. All generations get this. Music moves us. It allows us the ability to take ownership of a song. It creates new memories and sometimes reminds us of old ones. We can make the song ours. Music becomes the soundtrack to our daily lives even if no one else hears it. Well, like music, we all want for someone to please inspire us. Give us something that we can connect with, to relate to see ourselves as the leading person in the character or the leading role. We want to take ownership of our rights and the things that we know we can change. Companies are getting this. We can even see companies changing their brand identity around storytelling, making their websites take you through a life story, how their product begins to fit into that story, and even how their product displays within the store takes us back to the story. The main question we need to ask companies when telling their story is, why should this matter? To us as designers, as experienced creators, and more importantly as consumers, take Ralph Lauren. He's mastered the answer to this question. The clothes as products, they are inspired by our own timeless character and our authentic way of living. And especially when it comes to our clothing, we all know we're walking billboards. We get that. So please, someone inspire us. Inspire us with your brand. We want to be given a good story, one that we can physically wrap up, take away, and make our own. Give us something that means something. We'll pay $60 for, honestly, a cloth pair of sandals. Why? Simply because of the story. We become a part of the story with our purchase. We know our power in making change actually happen. It matters to us, and the brand is our story. It becomes ours, a piece of show for who we are, and we wear them with pride. I got the privilege of actually meeting Chris Sutton, founder and jean maker of Noble Denim out of Cincinnati, Ohio. His jeans are $250 a pair. But why does it matter? What makes us pay the price and make the brand our own? Simply, it's his story. Locally made and thoughtfully crafted. Even paying more for a product, for the pocket material, than for the actual denim of a single pair of jeans, he has sought out the best America has to offer in materials. Most parts locally made, like the Kentucky leather, they are, yes, just jeans, but his story captivates us. It is the better story we've been searching for. He gives us freedom in the ownership of his brand, physically by using a raw salvage denim so that the jeans literally show our lives. All the wears and tears, the creases, they become our stories. There are memories to share. They're our passport to where we've actually been. So as experienced creators, being in the midst of a society of convenience, our ultimate goal is to get people back to the store. Furthermore, to bring them back to the store. For us, the shopping trip becomes part of our story. You can't compete with convenience, and really, why would we want to? We all love it, and sometimes we honestly need it. But make the experience the story. I take my kids shopping to create a story. It's for a chance to reconnect, to come together. It should allow consumers to own the story through a creative, supportive design. Take us back to the storyboards. Take us through why the brand matters. We want a connection to the brand. something that we can take away. Stephen Ken is another designer that has mastered this art of storytelling. With first releasing his process video, he makes the story matter to us. We can make it our own.
But then when people sit on these pieces, and they run their hands across the cushions and feel these beat up little metal buttons, or the hand-sewn patches, or see the names scrawled onto the canvas, that they'll be transported back to a different time, a time when men and women sacrificed in order to give my generation the gift of freedom. My own grandfather was a man who I admired deeply. His courage and fearless pursuit of truth make me proud to carry this name. For me, it is a way to remember him and his life. I am who I am because he was who he was. I am Steve.
So, you want to get to know me? I could sit down and fill out a form, tell you my name, where I'm from, and even show you something a little bit about me. Or I could simply show you my story. I could give you a glimpse of my story, shot with, it's not funny. Oh, that's okay. Shot at home with my family on our grainy little camera. But it's the place that we're the most comfortable. We have made a connection. I have made you make a connection to me even without sorry. My story then becomes yours. So, what inspires me? The notion and the possibility that I can create change for future generations so that the story can continue on, and can continue on, and continue on. Question? Oh, please. I wish the video was really cute. Yes.
So if you don't have a story, is it okay to make a story up?
No, that's part of the branding. The branding is actually like when you approach a company to tell a story, I think their main question is to ask why should it matter. And normally the company will respond, and that then becomes their story. So they can make it matter.
You showed Ralph Lauren. Do you think Ralph Lauren made this story up?
No, well, yeah, in his ads, he does. But he allows us to take ownership. So he can create the experience of the story, but then we can put ourselves as the lead. He allows us the ability to kind of transport into a better story with the products and the clothes.
So it can be made up.
Yeah. That kind of takes away from the integrity, though.
Well, maybe.
Inspiration is quality. Inspired.
Yeah.
Man, the jeans down in Cincinnati, where does he make these?
He actually makes them himself. It's just him and 2 interns. And he has a building off of Spring Grove Avenue.
Does he have a retail facility?
He just launched November 1st, and basically it was he had bought a pair of jeans years ago and had worn them for 250 days straight without washing them. And he began, like, and he also but being a hipster and coming at it exactly what Brooke was talking about, he actually began to see that his jeans told a story. And so, by where he had been, so he could sit down and he actually showed me the jeans, which was a picture. He could tell you, this is where my wallet stands, this isn't where somebody told me my wallet should sit with a hole. These are my creases from when I went to, wherever with my family, I went camping or whatever it was. And so, that, I think, to him began to inspire him to actually look at the product and create, okay, coming out of the storytelling brand, how can I create a product that I can physically and literally give to a generation that they can create their own and make them pay $250 for a pair of jeans? Because being hipsters, we want to be one. I'm not technically a hipster of age, but I do consider myself that because it's the same with Tom's or Burt's Bees or anything else. It's the story that moves us to actually, we can connect with and it becomes ours.